Hey everybody, today I have a special surprise for you. Will from Atlas Fitness, which is a smaller YouTube channel here in the UK, came to train with me today, and I will link his channel down below. And we did one of my typical full body sessions, and I'll break this down for you guys. Alright, up first, we're doing some Crazybell bench pressing, which is something I learned from Jamie Lewis's Chaos and Pain blog. Now something you're going to notice with this is that we're only using 120 kilos for sets of 5, and it's all touch and go. And the whole idea here is that you use the force that has been generated at the very bottom from the weight stretching the bands to activate a heavier stretch reflex at the very bottom. So the weight is actually heavier at the bottom than the top, which is the exact opposite of what you normally get from bands. Now, this is something that if you don't have a lot of development, I would not recommend doing. This is purely a powerlifting tool. And if you do not have a good strength base and good technique, you will absolutely rip a pec doing this. So I do not recommend doing it for the non-advanced lifter. And I coached Will a bit on this lift before we did this to make sure he could do this safely. And we did 2 sets of this. Normally I only do 1 to 2 work sets because I train full body every day and I hit so many big lifts and I do them day after day after day that I don't want to burn myself out. But we did 2 sets of this, and this is a really, really awkward movement. For any of you who try it, just be prepared for how hard it is to stabilize this, and you're going to have chest DOMs the next day as a result of it due to overloading the stretch reflex at the bottom. But here's Will's second set, and he's a strong bencher, so he used the same weight as me on this. So it was really easy for us to do just back to back. And then up next, we've got Beltless Squats. He went with 145. And he has a little bit of core weakness. It's something that I feel he needs to work on. We discussed it a bit. I think he could squat and deadlift a lot more if he can sort that core out. If you guys look at the bottom, you can see his core is actually a bit of a problem coming out of the hole. And then we have my squat next. Some people might scream about depth, but this is meet legal depth, and people forget how much meat I have on my quad. So this is hitting parallel where my hip reaches my knee, but it is absolutely not deeper than that. But I managed to get 6 reps with 190 kilos without a belt, and this is my 3rd time this week using this weight for this many reps. And pretty much my 3rd day in a row, maybe my 4th day in a row doing so actually. I'd have to go back and check my log. So I was really happy with this. After that, we did trap bar deficit deadlifts. These are because my plates are 6 inches smaller than normal other than my bumper plates. This is a 3-inch deficit, and this will absolutely murder your hamstrings. And for me, I feel this actually seems to hit my hamstrings harder with a little less strain on my lower back and my spinal erectors than doing it with a regular bar. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing it with my trap bar again. I tend to rotate these back and forth between trap bar and Olympic bar. And I feel that it gives my erectors a little bit of a break, particularly with all this beltless training I do to strengthen my core. I was going to try to get 5 reps with this, but I felt like on the 4th rep that the 5th rep would probably be a grinder or I might not get it. And because I'm training every day, I cannot afford to miss a rep on a heavy deadlift, because if I do so, that will be the end of my training week and I'll be forced to take a day off due to my peripheral nervous system being too fatigued. So I make sure I don't hit failure here. So again, I only did 4 reps. After that, we did some push presses. I did mine behind the neck, and because Will has had a shoulder surgery from his rugby days that he has had to have corrected, he has a nice scar there on his shoulder, just like I have a nice scar from getting my bicep repaired. He did his with front presses, but I did mine behind the neck, and I don't think I've done these in a video for anyone before, and I probably am going to make an instructional video because people are asking me about the behind the neck push press. But I managed to get 6 reps with 85 kilos. My current max on this is only 100 kilos. But I'm getting stronger on it, so I can probably rep 100 now if I really want to. I haven't actually tried, because I'm sticking with high reps for these few weeks. I'm in a phase where I'm working up in the 5 to 8 rep range mostly, and then I'll drop it down here in another week or so. But I just feel that I need more total workload at the moment and less stress from hitting 2 and 3 rep sets. Get that duck at the bottom. And then he did pretty good on this, all things considered, considering he's had a shoulder surgery. Getting 6 reps with 80 kilos is pretty solid here for a guy his size. He weighs about 4 kilos less than I do. So I got to give him props for his effort there. And then we just did some chin-ups. I didn't go really heavy on these. Actually, these are pull-ups, not chin-ups. simply because my back is so exhausted from the deadlifting and the squats. And I'm not even extended all the way down on these. I'm just trying to get a little bit of a pump there. It's really pitiful. But again, just getting some extra back and bicep work in, and then I did my bicep work at home later because I have dumbbells at home for all of that. Although I did order some Olympic dumbbell handles that should be in this week, so I can start doing things like incline flies and extra dumbbell stuff at my actual gym if I want to do things like that. Because I feel like actually I need some incline dumbbell presses to bring my upper chest up a little bit right now. Purely for aesthetic reasons, it's not going to help my my powerlifting much, I don't think. And he did the same thing, and I forgot to film his drop set. So I apologize for that, Will. He actually did 3 more reps after this. And then I show you guys kind of my whole core routine. This is what I'm doing right now. I end up doing a number of different things because I need to work all aspects of my core to make sure that it's strong enough for meets. And then I'll do a vacuum, and then I'll do a plank, and then maybe some side planks.
Okay.
And I'll do weighted planks at home. Sometimes I'll have my wife sit on my back. Actually, I'll probably do a vacuum, then side planks, and then a front plank because I want to be as fatigued as possible for the plank. I can't hold it long today. But that works at reverse abdominals,
Okay.
which you do need to help stabilize your squat. And I'll do a side plank. These are hard as fuck for me. So I don't have any sense of balance.
Yeah.
So it really sucks. But it helps me maintain my balance because I build all these stabilizers so I don't fall down as often when I'm walking down the street. People freak out when you do, they think you have a heart attack or something. This big guy must be on a lot of steroids, he just had a heart attack. No, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's easier, harder to do after squat. Alright guys, I ended up cutting this front plank a little short because I just ended up doing a weighted one at home later. And I didn't do any arm work here because I trained triceps pretty hard yesterday in the gym and I did a lot of curls at home yesterday, so my arms are pretty well fatigued. There was no need to do any direct arm work today. So there was the workout, and I want you guys to go sub to Will's channel. He just started it last week. He has less than 10 videos up, but he will be producing new content, so go check it out.